talking yet?
Well, yeah, well, it was, I don't know what happened. Like, we got all the way through the intro, and then it's like, hey, your live stream's shut down. Try again or contact support. And I'm like, what the heck?
That's interesting because it said 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, yeah, like when you're coming back, I had it had just shut down, and then I hit live stream again, and that's when you saw the 3, 2, 1, go. And so I have no idea what's going on. But you know what? There's probably dust on the controls, so it's probably because we haven't been here in like
ages.
Well, I was just looking. I think it was May 23rd. Oh, was our last one. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a while. But
no worries. But it's on. We're live.
Yeah. Where you been? Where have we been?
I
don't know. All
where
over.
Have you been? Yeah. Hey, Mom.
Hey, Mom. Man, I'm a little rusty at this. So,
Just say hi and turn off the music.
welcome to the very newest episode of Whiskey with an Agent. If you don't remember us, my name's Jared. That's Chris over there on that side. And we do a podcast about whiskey and agenting. Is that a word? Agenting?
Agenting.
Agenting. Real estate. And today we're actually going to... Holy crap, there's a lot of stuff going on in the market. We're seeing like some crazy stuff. Like, I don't even know how to keep up with all the stats that are coming out right now. Even as an agent, there's so many things. But there are particular ones that I do pay attention to that sort of help me guide clients and customers and whatever. So, how often do you look at all your stats and stuff?
All the time.
Yeah,
I look at it all the time. I have to constantly be looking at it. I have to constantly be monitoring it because how am I going to be a use of information to anyone if I'm not constantly monitoring what's happening in the state of affairs, the state of the market?
Yep.
So
yeah.
I'm getting a question all the time. Is this a good time to buy? And is this a good time to sell? Usually just kind of tell them, what's the goal? What's the game plan? What are your thoughts? Tell me more about what your strategy is. Or like, when your strategy, what are your goals? What are you trying to accomplish?
Right.
We want to sell and buy. I'm like, okay, well, the market's starting to teeter.
It is.
Appreciation, even though prices are continuing to rise, and it will continue to rise according to leading experts, just at a much slower pace. However, inventory is climbing drastically. And in some like in Central Florida, it has increased month over month by over 40%.
Yes.
And I think in one of your areas on the coast, it's increased triple digits.
Yeah, and I'm gonna throw some charts up here a little bit later, but yeah, it's literally there's two counties in particular that have doubled their active inventory on a year-over-year basis. Doubled. So I mean, you're talking it went from like 500 to 1,000 or 800 to 1,600 or something like that. It's insane.
And so now, like, if we're not monitoring the stats and monitoring it, like, the market would literally change beneath you, and you will have no idea.
Oh, yeah. Well, and it's happening so fast right now. Interest rates, like, I blink and I'm like, holy crap, what happened? The interest rates went up, or you blink again, you're like, oh, they went back down. Okay, cool. We're doing, it's good. And then it will go down like, a couple of tenths or something, and
it's gone. We went from January to being like a low 3 on average to now as a national we're 6.
Yes. 6%. Yep.
So it's in a matter of 7 months, respectively.
Yes. Yep.
It has increased 50%.
Yeah.
100%, actually. 100%. Excuse me. From 3 to 6, that's 100%.
I know.
Shit.
It's crazy. So we're gonna be diving more into some of the stats, the housing market, and all that kind of stuff. But, and you know what? All this time that we haven't done an episode, I don't have a whiskey glass in front of me. I have a whiskey, but I don't have a glass.
Oh, well, just drink from the bottle. You're fine.
You think so?
Yeah.
That's so classy, though. and I'm not a classy guy. Be right back.
I guess I'll just humor everybody. So here's what I'm drinking tonight, everybody. I've always been curious by everyone knows the flavor profile of Jack Daniels, right? So I've always been curious about some of their higher stuff. So I got the Jack Daniels single barrel proof whiskey. It is in a select 65.8%, 131.6 proof. And I'm thinking,
Ooh, nice.
Jack Daniels, the regular black label, is harsh as hell, right? So I figured, if I spend a little bit more money, maybe I'll enjoy it a little bit more. I was absolutely wrong.
Oh, really?
I was absolutely wrong.
Oh,
It's so harsh.
the one that you have now.
Yeah. Let's see if
Oh man, it's not good. That's oh,
yeah.
that's such a bummer.
But as you can see, I'm still drinking quite a bit of it.
Well, of course. I mean, it's not like you're just gonna pour it down the drain.
Oh God, no! You spend that kind of money, you're gonna drink it and you're gonna like it.
Oh, that's too bad. Well, I went out actually to celebrate the first episode back in a couple of months or a month and a half. I went out and bought. I haven't had this before, but somebody recommended it to me. Basil Hayden. You heard of that?
Oh my God, dude, that's such a go-to drink for me. I love.
Is it? Is it?
Absolutely.
Well, if you see there, it's artfully aged. So I mean, that has to be good, right?
Yes. Okay. So that's I love their rebranding, their relabeling.
I like the little belt buckle thing they got going.
Yeah, because it used to be a paper that used to go over the bottle, and that was
Okay.
what it was. But they redesigned the label. They got rid of the paper, and they put the belt buckle. And it looks great. I love it. Now they have several flavors. They have the rye. I love that flavor. Oh, that sound. It's a great sound. Let's see if I can
See if we can get some.
Oh, I can hear it.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Um.
I gotta open the bottle. I gotta lose pour it, I guess.
Let's see.
So they have the rye. They have a toasted, which is incredible. I'm a huge fan of the toasted. The toasted just came out recently, I think like this year, late last year. That's amazing. And it has like a sweetness to it, like a sweet honey. Oh, so
Nice.
I'm
using the little what do you call this? The
Dram.
snifter? Dram?
Yeah, snifter, but it's for the drams. That's if we're doing a dram style. So you got a real man's glass here.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I could probably put like a little chunk of ice in there, but I'm not gonna run back over there and get ice. But it's good. It's good.
I can talk to my fans while you're gone.
Nah, it's all good.
Well, cheers, bro.
Cheers.
After a month and a half of not being able to catch up.
Everything. Oh, it's been a while. What is everybody else drinking? I see Pinot Grigio. Nice.
Yeah, mother loves Pinot Grigio.
That's always a good go-to.
A little too clear for me.
Or the Pinot Grigio. I guess it's some
Pinot.
the Pinot.
Gringo. The Pinot Gringo.
Pinot Gringo. Yeah, what's everybody else drinking? If as you're filtering through, let us know what you're drinking out there.
Oh yeah.
I think we got a few.
Well, we've been
watchers.
We've been out of touch. We gotta get our clientele back up. So I'm like,
I know.
On the side, like sending them over to a few people, and I sent it to one of my buddies who really likes watching it. And,
okay.
Have it ready on Twitch. Going on Twitch. We still watch it on Twitch. And
nobody's on Twitch right now.
He just texted me back saying, "Let's go."
Let's go.
Yeah,
that's what the kids are saying these days, right? Let's go.
Let's go. But life's been good, man. The past month and a half, what have you been up to?
Man, I've been flying quite a bit the past month and a half. So the summertime, it starts getting pretty busy for the airlines. But to be honest, I mean, I slowed down a little bit with real estate, but only to go out and fly, and then I've been kind of ramping up some marketing stuff and website stuff, and so I've been still utilizing my time to get some other things done. But then now I got a listing up. I've got another listing coming. Working with a couple of buyers. That reminds me. I actually got to call one of my buyers. He texted me earlier.
I'll just shoot him a link and tell him to join us.
Yeah, I should.
Yeah, why not?
I will. And but yeah, other than that, I mean, just trying to stay busy, man, grinding away. So,
I hear you, bro.
yeah.
So,
What about you?
So the past like month and a half has been kind of crazy. So
Yeah.
the wife and I went to the Bahamas for a honeymoon. As you know, we were there for a solid week.
Yep.
Came back.
I think you ran into one of our
your
our
cousin,
viewers. Yeah, my cousin. He's
Yeah.
on now. He just chimed in. He's drinking
Right.
water. That's fine.
Yeah, it's such a small world. You just like hundreds of miles away, and
It's funny. I
running.
saw him. So I was out there for 4th of July out at his house, and we were talking about it. And he's like, we got on the plane, and he was telling his wife. He's like, I was telling my wife that he's like, I know that guy from somewhere. He's like, I don't know where it is. And his wife is like, well, just leave him alone. Like, don't say anything. It's just gonna be weird. And he was like, he said he was thinking about it, he's like, man, he was like thumbing through Facebook or whatever and trying to figure out. He's like, I know him from somewhere. And then finally he figured it out.
Yep. It was really funny. What's up, David? And because I saw him on the plane, and I saw him staring at me. I didn't think much of it, and then when we got to the resort or some like getting there, I remember seeing him again, and I was just like, huh. And then he just kind of walked up to me.
What up, bro? I know you.
Yeah. That was really cool. Unfortunately, our paths never crossed again after that first day.
Well, I mean, you guys were on your honeymoon.
Yeah, it's true. But we wanted to get a photo and send it over to you as like a surprise.
Yeah, it's all good. That was funny that you guys were on the same flight, the same hotel, the same days. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. But as soon as we got done with from the Bahamas, got back on a Saturday. Sunday we went to a concert. Tuesday morning, I had a cough. My voice was shot. Monday. My voice came back a little bit Tuesday. Tuesday night, I was down. I was kaput. I ended up getting COVID. So couldn't do anything.
Dang.
So that was done for a whole week. The wife ended up getting COVID. And I was supposed to have surgery, which got pushed back to July 12th. So like at this point, we're like a month down. And then the past 3 weeks, I've been dealing with my recovering from my knee surgery, getting an ACL reconstruction. And so I had physical therapy Wednesday, had physical therapy tomorrow, and every Monday, Wednesday, Thursday for the next month. So that's been my life. But real estate related, very slow during that time. Very slow. But I now have 2 active listings that went live today. I have another one that's going live a little later today. I'm just waiting for photos to get done. And then I'll have one going up in Lady Lake, Harbor Hills. That's going up. And I have one in Winter Springs that's going live as well. So I'll have just over 1 million and listings probably by the end of this month.
In total sales, I guess?
No, up for sale.
Oh, up for sale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So like to have like a lull for like a month and a half and then come back, and once I get my surgery done and get off the couch, I'm like, time to go to work.
Start grind away again. Yep.
Yeah. And I got like another buyer and seller coming down the pipeline too. So
are you noticing more people coming out of the pipeline now that we're seeing more active, like people wanting to list?
The sellers, because they're trying to capitalize. They realize they're starting to see that the top is here.
Yep.
The top is here.
Yep.
We need to start get on the roll. And the one in Harbor Hills, they're like, we need to get rid of this thing now. So they're wanting to price it low. This is the first time I ever heard a seller being like, I'm gonna actively price it low. And it's just like, okay, let's do this. So
hoping that they get multiple offers over ask, they
yes,
bid it up
yeah,
essentially. Okay.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the house needs a roof, and it's like mirrors all over the place. They
Right.
bought it like that. They just never fixed it up, and so it's just like it's not their fault. But they know they're smart sellers. They know what
Right.
they have. They
Yep.
know what they
Oh
have
yeah.
versus what's selling.
Yeah.
So
And here's the thing though. I mean, it's the market is still super hot. It's
mhm.
still a seller's market. It's, right now for the nation, we're sitting about 3 months supply of inventory on the national level. Let me see what it was for Florida. Just under 2 months. And this is for June. So just under 2 months. A normal market is somewhere around 5 or 6 months. So, we're talking about things are skyrocketing, inventory's coming up. It's still it's still the seller's market. The sellers still have the advantage. So it's, if you're contemplating, it's like, oh man, I missed the boat. You haven't missed the boat yet. It's, there's still time to get it sold and make some money. And the home prices, I haven't seen home prices drop at all yet.
No, that hasn't. Median
So
sales price increased yet again for another month
yeah,
straight. And for Central Florida, the median home price is $387,000, the highest it's ever been in recorded history that we've
yeah.
been recording. So the fact that it's going to continue going is crazy.
Oh, I know. Let me share my screen here with you. So we'll look at some interest rates. Let me do it this way. Is that no? This one. There we go. So you see that if you can see that on your screen. So right now, this is on. So you can go to this website if you want, freddieMac.com/PMMS, or you can just go on Google and just search, Freddie Mac interest rates, and it'll come up. So you'll see this chart here. But basically, right now, it's sitting at 4.99. So this is the first time since we've seen the price, since the price hikes or the interest rate hikes, that I've seen it dip back below 5%. And actually, just last week when I put out my housing market report, it was actually at 5.5%, and that was just last this past Monday or something. So the new numbers just came out today because today's Thursday. So 4.99%. So, but you can see where it was, up at 5.3 and all the way up to 5, just over 5.5. We peaked out, the highest point was like 5.8, but now it's dropping back off. But they're still talking about some more
Well,
hikes.
they
They're
just did a 3/4 of a point increase, and yet here's like the result as of right now.
mm-hmm.
And even just the other day, I think the stock market hit like a really good high for the first time in several weeks
Yeah,
or several days. And so like it's kind of like everything's kind of seemed to be doing the opposite. It's like the market hasn't found its normalcy yet. It's still just doing
right.
things in an opposite fashion right now.
Yep,
Prices are increasing, but the inventory is also increasing. It's just like
correct.
what's
So
happening?
it's like
Guys,
it's that whole supply and demand. Like supply goes up, the prices go down.
yeah, exactly. So a lot
But
of things
it's
are
not like
happening.
that right now.
Yeah, it's like we're doing this, and
Right.
eventually the sin wave will catch up, and it'll.
We're surfing the wave right now, where there's a bunch of like turbulence. So it's just kind of like, yeah, it's a really strange time. So I mean, if you are, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna list or if you're gonna buy, I mean, make sure that you talk to somebody that is in the know, like studies this stuff all the time, because otherwise you're gonna end up getting, that. So I've talked to some agents. They're behind. They're behind on the curve. They don't follow the stuff every day. They just
Or
kind
they're
of
part timers, or they
right.
have other stuff to do. Um,
I mean, I'm
I
sitting
mean,
there on
if you're doing work like what we do, then your ear is always on there. Like you're waking up in the morning and you're reading the articles that come through our emails. Um,
right.
so
Here's
it's
the 10-year. treasuries. So right now it's at 2.67. So you can see, I mean, obviously this kind of follows, or the interest rates sort of follow this chart here. So you can see it was, pretty high back in June, and it's slowly starting to taper off, which if you go back, we're starting to see interest rates slowly sort of taper off. So, you can kind of get an idea what the interest rates are going to do just by looking at this chart and kind of following. If you know what the 10-year treasury yield's going to do, then it gives you a good idea. But, as far as whereas the interest rates, this goes back to 2009. So we're back to like 2009 interest rates at, 5% or so. Actually, let's go back out 10. We'll have to go all the way. So 2000, right. So yeah, right about here, 2010. We're back to like 2010 interest rates. So about 12 years. But nonetheless, I don't know, man. I mean, I honestly thought home prices were going to start dipping a little bit when the interest rates started going up, but they haven't. They have not. Here's the lumber prices if anybody's interested in that. Lumber is starting to, I mean, it's been dropping for the past, let's go back to the 6 month. Yeah, check that out. All the way from February is where it peaked out, and then it's been just slowly declining. And it's almost back to where it, like a normal rate. Normal rate somewhere between like 400 to 600. So right here where it is right now, if I go back to like a 5-year, so you can see back here in 2019, somewhere around 400, 300. So, wood prices should be going back at some point. It should start getting cheaper to do some DIY projects, at least for a little bit until we have another spike. And
is our supply chain any better than what it was? I don't think
it's,
so,
I think it's trying to get better. I think stuff just got so expensive that I think some of the DIY stuff sort of tapered off. And then I think housing starts are, I think those kind of tapered off too. They've cut back on some housing starts. So,
well, they've had to because the market is changing, and they're just kind of like sitting on their thumbs. And a lot of people, well, in the month of June, over 60,000 people canceled the listing of their contracts, and so like the builders have to adjust. They can't expect these buyers to continue doing what they're doing.
Right.
Agreed.
Willis, you want to take a look at some actual stats here?
Yeah, pull it up, man.
Let's see. So let me get zoomed in on that. So this is the national stats here. So this is from NAR, the National Association of Realtors. This is for June 2022. So right now, current sales for the entire nation is 5.12 million. But you can see it's still down. So it's gone down a little bit on a month to month, and it's still down year over year. So we're still not back to where we were a couple years ago. We're still down. Inventory is 3 months. It's 2.5 months in June 2021. It's 3 months now. So that's actually increased, which is what we've been talking about, the increase of inventory. And then check out the median sales price to buy a home across the nation is $416,000.
I wish.
Think about that for a second.
I know there's a graph of what the average person makes, and I think
it's
8 times more than what the average American makes.
Yes,
in terms of affordability, it's entirely too high. It has to come down, but surprisingly, it's going up.
Yeah.
Still going up year over year, 13.4%.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
But sales went down. Look at that. Sales went down year over year, 14%. 5% month over month. Yeah. Inventory went up. So it's just like, what the hell? This is like that sin wave, and like we're just everything's trying to equal out right now.
So look at like a $400,000 loan. Like if you bought the 416, where is it at? $416,000 house right there. So what would you get a loan for? You're going to put like what, 10%, 20, 15% maybe if you have it.
I mean, like majority of buyers are FHA, so
yeah, so
32% of buyers.
So call it, let's just say that you're getting a $400,000 loan. That means you got to put $16,000 down, which a lot of people don't have. But let's just do a 5%. Here's your payment. This is just principal and interest. This is not including taxes or insurance or HOAs or anything like that.
Go ahead. There's a little slider right underneath monthly payment, and it says include taxes and fees.
Yep. So, let's see.
That's look at that. That's the down payment of $100,000.
Well, let's just we'll just zero that out and pretend like this is our loan price. So,
okay.
Property tax, home insurance is going to be at least $2,000.
At least depending on the year too.
Mortgage insurance really if you have it, but
for $5,000 that's pretty high.
So
32 at 400.
Yeah, $3,200. So your total payment, you're looking at $2,500 for a $416,000 house, which is, like we said, that's the median sales price across the nation. So, I mean, we can't sustain that for very long.
We can't, especially if living wages is not continuing to increase.
Right.
It's not.
Yep. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Here is, so this is for the state of Florida right here. So first time, so this is the chart that I do every month, and this is the first time that all of these have been in the green. But check out, active inventory is up 62%, month supply is up 73%. Crazy. And then for Florida itself, the median sales price right now is $420,000. So even more, a little bit more than what the national median sales price is. Pretty crazy.
Yeah, first time seeing green in a while.
I know. Well, especially in the active inventory and month supply. Yeah. But check out the chart here. I mean, you can see that trend of active inventory. I mean, it's just like exponentially just skyrocketing there. I should put a little rocket on there and just like a little flame, and it's just going up and up. We're going to the moon. But so keep in mind, so right now we're at 53,000 homes for sale in the state of Florida, but a normal market is somewhere around 88 to 90,000. So we're still not back to, you can see it there. You can see it in the month supply. Normal market is about 5 months supply. Right now we're just under 2. So obviously it's still a seller's market, but the home prices have not dipped at all. They have not dipped at all. Let's see. So there was, that's right. There was, what's that, Volusia?
County.
I know.
It was such a hot market, like the past like two years. Oh my God, it was such a hot market. Multiple offers, 30 offers like at a time for homes there.
Yeah.
Now look at the new listings.
It's crazy.
It's to say 8 or 81
for
new listings. Oh, it's not that much.
Oh, that's 8%, 8% increase. But it's really the active inventory and the month supply inventory. That's where it gets you. We're still sitting at, if you look up here, we're still sitting at a third, 33% of the closed sales are cash. So we're still seeing a ton of cash deals here in Florida.
Yeah.
But check out, let me scroll on down here. Osceola County. So check that out. Like this thing only goes up to 100%. It's a 129% increase. So from 556 homes last year to 1,275 homes this year. I mean, it's just like look at the graph. I mean, what was that from January, February is where it started just going crazy. So, and then the same for month supply of inventory went from zero point 0.8. So it increased by a full month, 125% increase. Yeah. So you can see like where the market is going right now. A lot of that is just people trying to capitalize on the hot market because they're. Do you think people are getting antsy? Like they're afraid that they're going to miss. Do you think that's why we're seeing they're going to miss the boat? FOMO, fear of missing out. They're going to miss the boat. They're not going to make, they're not going to sell their $400,000 house for $600,000. They're afraid they're going to miss out.
And you know what? I mean, it's okay. Like this is if anybody can go ahead and do something in a panic, it's to go ahead and put more homes back onto the market because we need it. We need it. People are still gonna buy. So the more homes that come onto the market, then that means the prices will come down, and it will actually give buyers an opportunity to purchase.
Right.
So that's. I'm looking forward to the opportunity of going back to where it was like a 5-month supply of homes. Like I'm okay with that because that's a more sense of normalcy than the past 2 years that we've had. It's just pulling my hair out.
Agreed. Yeah. So let's see. What were some of the other things? Right now, consumer price inflation. So for 2022, it's at 8.5%, which is a 40-year high. That's for the price inflation, consumer price inflation. So, I mean, people are spending more money. I think what was the number I saw? It was like just over $500 more than what they have been spending in the past, which equates to like just over $6,000 extra a year that people are spending on stuff just because it's more expensive or you're buying more or whatever the case is. But it's just, things are just more expensive now. I mean, dude, all right. They are getting out of hand. I went to the store the other day and I bought one of those big things of goldfish. Those like big cartons of the big tub of goldfish. $11. $11. Dude, I can go buy a. Well, that's more than a 6-pack of beer. More than
too expensive. Even beer is gonna be too expensive.
But so yeah, it's I don't know, man. It's crazy, but nonetheless, it's still a hot market. I mean, I'm running out of stuff to talk about now.
Well, does anybody have any questions? I mean,
we'll sit here in silence and wait.
I knew you had a cricket in there. So as soon as you said that, I was like, he's got to have a cricket.
I forgot about it. And I was like, oh wait, and I got lucky. Which one I hit? I was like, I think it's this one.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. What else? I mean, it's been so long since I've done this.
Well, I mean, like we touched the core subjects, and that's the fact that like prices. Everything right now is just being very chaotic. It's a wave in turbulence,
What about buyers? What do you think about buyers? Should you go out and buy a house right now? I mean,
what's the goal? Like, is the goal to live in a house for the next 10 years? Yeah, go buy a house. It's always been the same. I don't give a shit what the interest rates, what the prices are. Like, what's the goal?
Yeah.
10 years? Okay, cool. The market will be completely different in 10 years.
It will.
It's going to.
Yeah.
So
and
you're going to write this out. And if you buy a house now, and you spend all this money on your interest rate, say 7%, I'm sorry. But in 4 years, who's to say interest rates don't come down again? And now they're below 4%, You mean tell me you're not going to refinance?
Of course you are.
Cool. I get to keep my house refinance. I have equity in the home. It's just it's an amazing opportunity to be a homeowner. I really truly believe like the fact that you get to own land is one of the greatest freedoms that we have.
Yeah. Well, and it's a great way to build some wealth and have you have something you can
it really is
call
the
your
best
own
way to start building wealth.
Yep.
I mean, people have made hundreds and thousands of dollars overnight in real estate.
Oh yeah.
because
Well,
no,
if you look at any multimillionaire, multi-billionaire,
go
ask
to
them or
Forbes.
look at where they started.
Yeah,
They
go to
started with
Forbes.
real estate at some point. I mean, all of these big guys, they have or girls or ladies, women, whatever. They all have some sort of real
Real
estate
estate.
portfolio,
Yep,
you
you
know.
have to. You're going
But
to.
but I agree. I mean, if you're buying a house, yeah, you definitely it's interest rates are high now. Interest rates may be higher next year if you wait. They may be even higher the next year, or they may go down, but who knows? And if they go down, you refinance and you still own the house.
Yep.
So if you're waiting on actual home prices to go down,
Do you remember that meme? It was like a black guy with yellow, wearing a yellow suit, and he was standing by a tree, and like he had this like it has this like eager look, and pretty much the meme was just like millennials waiting for the housing prices to crash, for the housing market to crash,
I
and
don't
it's
think I
just like
saw that one.
they're still there.
Yeah,
They're still there. Like you've
yeah,
been waiting for prices to go down. You should have bought like 3, 4 years ago because you'd be in a position where you'd have, on average, for the state of Florida, $75,000 worth of equity. And right now, Bethany and I, we bought right before the pandemic.
yeah.
Um, and so we bought right before the pandemic. I've been keeping an eye very closely on the neighborhood, and we're sitting on about 100K worth of equity from when we
Nice.
bought it. So what we're doing is actually we're going to do a HELOC. We're going to
Okay.
take equity out,
Yep.
all right, so while it's still
Yep.
peak.
Yep.
And what we're going to do is we're going to sit and wait for the inventory to become a little bit more flush. Wait
Right.
for some of these investors
Yep.
to go ahead and start seeing that
Start.
they're going to start unloading.
Yeah.
Interest rates are
They
going
they already are. They already are. I've been
they're
looking at
going
a
to
bunch of
start unloading.
houses. I've been showing a bunch of houses and they're vacant. You know, the tenants are out, and then the investor, the landlord, they're selling them off because
Yeah, they want to take that money. Like
yeah,
they're like, okay, we're
they're
hitting peak.
cashing out.
Let's sell. They're cashing out,
Yep.
and so that's what we're going to wait on. And so while we're going through the HELOC process, we're going to sit on our home equity line of credit, and
Yep.
I'm just going to monitor the market and find that right one from that right investor. Take it up.
Right.
Say thank you.
Nice. What have you already started that process? What are the interest rates going to be the same, or are they more, or are they less for HELOCs? Do you know?
Oh, Lord, no, they're more. So because
There.
of the Fed interest rates have increased they've increased it. So a
Okay.
lot of the smaller loans, such as HELOCs, secondary mortgages, car loans, credit cards, things like that that are like interest based. Those smaller they are, the higher the rates are going to be. So
Gotcha.
if you did like a secondary home, it's like a secondary investment home, you're probably looking at anywhere in the neighborhood of like 8, 9%. And if you do a HELOC, that's going to be like 8 to 11% interest rate. So
Okay.
it's
So
just
when
it is
you
what it is.
pull that money out, you're paying that 8%, whatever it is.
Yeah, but most credit cards are in the 20s.
Oh yeah, no, I
And
mean
that's what your HELOC is. Think of it
yep,
as a revolving line of credit, but
yep,
you're using the equity of your own house,
right,
and it'll never dry up. It's not like a loan or anything like that.
right,
It's constantly there. So if our AC goes out tomorrow and we have that home equity line of credit, instead of
yep,
dipping into our own cash pockets
yep,
and dropping $10,000, we have the HELOC. And we can just, doop, thank you.
yep.
There you go.
But I mean, I've never actually done a HELOC. I haven't dealt with them too much. So explain to me if I'm saying this right. So you get the HELOC and then you're not paying interest on it until you actually
Start using it.
start
Just like a
using it.
credit card.
And you can just use a little bit of it. You don't have to use, it's not like you got to pull it all out and then you're already,
Correct.
you just pull out what you need when you need it.
Yes, that's correct. So
Yeah.
sometimes they require you to do a certain amount of draw.
Okay.
So you have to do a draw to
Yep.
it. And then also, a lot of it, actually almost all of it, all of those HELOCs are interest bearing for the first 5 years.
Okay.
So interest payments. So
Right.
interest only payments.
Yep.
But I mean, like you can still pay to the principal once you pay off that interest payment. Anything beyond that goes to the
Right.
principal.
Exactly.
So, and once you pay that off, so say if like Bethany and I bought like an investment home, and we only spent $20,000 for like a down
Right.
payment, closing costs, and stuff like that.
Yep.
So the first 5 years of that will just be interest bearing account, right? But he's like, oh my God, how could he be paying interest for the first 5 years? Well, think about it. And this was put into perspective for me. While you're making money, whether it be short term or long term, from that investment, yes, a portion of that. So say your payment is $700 and you're making $1,500 a month in rent, right? Just for a long term investment. You're putting that 700 there, and then you're taking the remaining balance. And if you're smart with it, you won't spend it. You won't put it you won't put all of it into your pocket. You'll save that portion of it into an account. That way, when at the end of the 5 years, when the payment comes due,
Right.
there you go. You just got paid. You just paid it off,
Okay.
and then boom, now you have that $20,000 extra free cash picked up. The
Mm-hmm.
property, if it's doing well, is appreciated. I mean, at that point, you can just go ahead and either liquidate that, or you
Right.
can just turn it in, you can keep using it, take equity out of that property, go and purchase another property. This is how wealth is built. This
Yep.
is, if you look at we were talking about Forbes. If you look at the Forbes magazine, a majority of those who became self-made millionaires and billionaires to the wealthiest people in the world, is
Yep.
because they literally started off in real estate. Majority of their portfolio is real estate. Unless you
Yep.
created some sort of technology that we now use on a daily basis, like like for every time people use their credit card,
Mm-hmm.
right? That little chip, a little something that kind of just that little code and everything like
Yep.
that. That person, that man, he's making like 2 or 3 cents
Oh yeah.
per insert. So unless you come up with something like that kind of a technology,
Right.
real estate is where majority of wealthy people's get their start.
And even when you do create those little cool inventions and stuff, most of those people, after they start making a bunch of money, they start buying real estate.
Yeah, you
Guaranteed.
There you go.
Yeah.
You keep it going.
You know, you look at all the smart sports, sports players and stuff. A lot of them are into real estate. They buy real estate.
They try, but they just get in bed with the wrong people.
Well, that can happen too.
I've heard these athletes try to get into real estate, and they spend millions of dollars out the gate without
Yes.
knowing it, trusting
Right.
people, and those people just end up just screwing them over because they don't know
Well, and
either.
some of the problem there is, they start making these huge salaries, and then they go out and buy like $1 million mansions. I don't recommend, if you're getting into real estate, I don't really recommend going out and buying $1 million mansions and thinking you're gonna, come out on the winning end. I mean, you might, but yeah, those are just luxury items. When we're talking about, buying it as investments, we're talking about, whether you're going to be a landlord, or you're buying something to flip, or you're buying, apartment complexes or farmland. I see Bill Gates. He's been buying up a bunch of farmland. A lot of these billionaires are actually buying a ton of farmland, and then they lease it back to the farmer. And then eventually, guess what's going to happen? Those farmers are not going to farm anymore, and then Mr. Bill Gates is going to sell that land to a big developer for like 3 times, 4 times as much as what he paid for it.
Is that what your theory is?
Eventually, that's what is. I mean, it may not be in his lifetime. He may be gone, but eventually that land will. It's going to be developed. I think. I mean, we still need farms. We're still going to have crops. That's how we feed people. But that's what happens to a lot of farms. I mean, they start getting turned into developments, into houses and shopping centers and things like that. So
farmland. I mean, the state of Florida, and as well as many other states, like we were all orange groves and
right.
cow pastures, and before
Yep.
that, we were swamp. Like our cows walked through swamp. so,
Right.
and it just all got developed, and it's still happening today. Like all farmers just end up selling their properties because we need places to build. So,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
I think we burnt the candle, man. I think
I think so. I think so. I think we're gonna call this one a short one. This was a nice little kind of get back into it. It was it was
a little bit of bullshit, a lot of real estate.
little bit.
I like it.
I want to show this real quick. Check this out. I'll just leave that up there. Can you see it?
Yeah. Can you zoom into it? There you go.
Okay, let me do that.
There you go.
Don't. So
Yeah.
real estate agent is like wine. You can choose a cheap one, but don't complain about where you wake up.
Yeah, seriously.
I thought that was pretty funny.
You literally get what you pay for in real estate. That's for sure.
Exactly. But
Cheers, bro.
yeah, cheers, man. Thanks everybody for getting back to us when it's been a while, and I don't know. We're gonna try to get back into a routine and
Go from there. Yeah, lots to talk
get
about.
these. So yeah, we've got a bunch of topics that we're gonna talk about. But so if you haven't done so already, make sure you go to either our YouTube page, subscribe there. You can go to our Facebook page. You can go to Whiskey with an Agent Facebook page. You can go to Chris's page or my page. You can find it somehow, and then just go there and subscribe to it or like it or whatever, follow it, and yeah, so then that way you know what's coming up. We're gonna try to be a little bit more active as far as posting and everything. I'm throwing it out there, man. So Chris and I actually haven't talked about this, but I'm throwing it out there that we're gonna be more active. So we kind of have to now. We can't let them down. We got to do it.
Agree.
But I can tell you, we've got a list this long of topics
Subjects,
that we want to cover, we want to talk about. So yeah, but that's all I got.
Same here, man.
I'm gonna ramp it up.
Cheers,
Cheers. Peace.